So what we're going to do is take this, evaluate this one more, take it apart. See, there's a big problem there. Yep. And doesn't turn real smooth. Fights. And these things are just like old and crusty and not flexible anymore. So I'm going to take all this apart and put new cloth on the pneumatics. So first, lots of pictures of how things are, how they're attached. Because it's very easy to forget. Like all piano work, you gotta mark everything. I have a piece of cardboard. Holes correspond to each one of these. Screw goes back in the same hole it came out from. And once I get these apart, I number them inside too. Just because. And before I go any further, I forgot I need to do a measurement. Because I want to know what the distance is as these guys are fully extended. Because if you don't have enough cloth on here, when it goes to expand, it'll stop short, and then your motor will either not turn at all, or it'll have a little blip in it. So it's very important to get that fully extended measurement. 840 millimeters. Let's see what that is in inches. Run it so it pushes it open to its natural extension. You have 1.961. Oh yay. Look at that. I love it when things work out. Okay. So before the screws get lost or moved or bumped, yeah, lots of the graphite's worn off, so we'll have to give it a coat of DAG. Probably a little coarse for this, but it'll work. They'll slide. Now the moment of truth. Oh yeah, look at that. Sweet. Awesomeness. I have one more to do after this. I hope that one comes apart as easily. Yeah, there was a problem here. That's why it didn't work. So now we'll get a piece of paper and
and make a pattern. And that's where the measurement comes in, because we need to get this cloth just right. At least the distance. Extra cloth you can trim off. Cut, and I'm going to take this pneumatic and trace an outline around the whole thing. I start with this end because the syntax here is you start around and wrap it around and end up over here. So in order to have a pattern for a piece of cloth that kind of matches this, it doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I make it a little bit larger and then trim. You can see this one's been trimmed to fit. So it's a very unscientific process. And the trick here is going to be getting this thing expanded and holding it there. And then I'll mark the end. Roll this up. See if I can get this kind of lined up. And another end tab. And there we go, kind of. So now I take a straight edge and clean this up. Well, there is one trick that kind of works, helps, whatever. You get a wet rag, especially on these ends. Try and kind of soak this a little bit. Thing is, when you do that and get this glue, the hide glue, wet, and it becomes all gummy, really nasty to deal with. Sticks really, really well though. But just to get these ends going. Some people say that you don't even need to clean the old hide glue off. You know, you just get it wet, and then when it you put new glue on that's hot and wet, it kind of remelts it. Let's see if Not helped at all. Not really. It's still really, really dry. Some people say use steam. I tried that. It kind of worked. Not really. Not really. It's just so much easier to just rip it off. Well, that came off a little easier. So this is number 2. We'll kind of leave as much intact as we can. At least for now. Okay, so we got all the pneumatics cleaned up. Ready for gluing and reassembly. We got one hinge piece of pneumatic cloth we're going to use as a pattern. I got a piece of cloth here. And I had some glue left over, so I heated it up. This is my glue pot, homemade. Temperature has to be at 140 some degrees, so it's a hot bath process. Take the dried glue, put some water in it, and put it in there to heat. So I had some left, and I heated it up and tried it out, and nope, no good. So I had to get rid of that, make a new batch. So that's what this is. Once that gets completely heated up, we'll do another test with this piece of wood. In the meantime, I'm going to start cutting up pieces of this cloth and make some hinges so we can start gluing these babies back together. Once I get the hinges made, then we'll start cutting the cloth to recover these pneumatics and get this project done. Okay, got the glue heated up, got some clamps, and we'll see how this goes. Got my hot hide glue. Stuff is kind of weird to use. Usually there's not much working time involved with it. That's why people liked it, because that meant you could get a lot of stuff done fast and you didn't have to wait. Okay, that one. Alrighty then. Give those things a few minutes. So I should put the glue back in the hot pot. Okay. All the pneumatic cloth is cut. Got one laid out. And we're ready to start gluing these coverings back on. So I laid these out, measured it. You know, we've got greater than a 2-inch span at the end, which is what it needs. According to the figures, 1.9, so 2 inches is good. We could use a little extra. And I got the spots marked. I did a test wrap. Make sure everything's gonna wrap the way we want it to. I mean, hopefully. So last time I'm trying a different method for doing the actual process of covering the pneumatics. In the past I've started and wrapped around. Now I'm going to glue the ends in place so we have our spread locked. And then from there I'll be able to wrap around. Everything should come out great. Glue's nice and hot. And away we go. Nothing more exciting than starting to glue. And a little just here. A little here. And get these guys in place. And we're just gonna keep on trucking on this. So I'm just going to hold this part and smooth that in place. These wrinkles out. That's usually enough time for it to tack up pretty good. Now we'll do this part. This is where it starts getting messy, and see, when you touch the pneumatic cloth with glue, you get this mess. But I'm not going to worry about that because that's going to get covered up. So now we'll just kind of let that set for a while. Try and move it off to the side so we can keep on trucking here. is that? Leave these set for a few hours and trim them up. Right, so I've got all but one of these trimmed. So trim this last one up and we get to put it back together and test it. So I've been starting, excess glue is a problem when you're doing this because it doesn't cut. That makes it really hard, difficult. But it's just a matter of doing surgery. This is the most successful way. I've tried scissors, I've tried trying to slice it off this way. That doesn't work. I mean, it works kind of, but try and have it so that I'm always cutting down on a firm surface. And to get through this glue, it's just brutal. And there's no pretty way to do it either, sometimes. Just about there. Glue. And that is that. Now I'm going to put some graphite on these slides, put it back together, give it a test. This is graphite and kind of an alcohol base for lubrication. A little sign here that says, put no oil or grease on this motor. Use only black lead. Alright. Here we go. We are all back assembled. Rolls pretty nice, not too much rough, a little bit there, a little extra resistance, but otherwise nice and smooth, no binding of the pneumatics. Got the folds going. It is time for the acid test. You can see the gap between the pipe and the vacuum hose. That's how little air it actually takes to run it. Cool beans. Yay. Now I can call the owner up and go install it.